Terrible. How's everyone doing today? Toxent Sora Mark to Chief SLB. Almost read the title as live market manipulation. Terrible. How's it going? My voice is a lot better than it's been in the past couple of days. I can still ever so slightly, feel that little bit of like nasal congestion, but it's a lot better than it's been for the past week. So there's a bit of news to go through, stuff like that. Yeah, I'll wait for people to get in. Documents, how's it going? Live market manipulation. How could you even say that? I would never. Never. Okay, so I want to just start with a quick news recap. Aside from the roadmap stuff, PC players do have an upgrade event that went live a couple hours ago, and that is going to be up until April 28th at noon Pacific. So, if you're on PC and you've got upgrades to get done, then now is the time to act. Console players have a 20% Zen sale that is live right now up through May 6th. So if you're looking to pick up any of the Zen packs, go for it. There's also some starter packs and faction and discovery packs on sale over on PlayStation. Then I missed this last week, and the sale here ends in about half an hour. But over on console, there was a couple items added to the Muds Market last week, and the 75% Mud sale ends here at noon Pacific. So, like as of me saying this, 30 minutes from now. So I'm unfortunately a little bit late to that news, but that's the Typhoon, the Beowulf Blade, and then the Kittimer Defender Space set. I do have a video going over all of those, which I'll drop in chat here real quick. So this is from when they were added over onto PC. But the big thing there really is the Kittimer Space set, just because that is like the meta shield right now for high performance deeps, though that's not as important over on console. Speaking of console, you guys are getting the Grawl on Tuesday on the 28th, and I would assume PC is going to be getting the Orchid that day as well. So what that means for console is that you guys will have a 15% key sale and a 20% lobby sale on Tuesday. So don't buy any keys right now. Wait for the stuff. Wait for the sales. Johnny, thank you. Sora, Sam, Ethan, Elptron, Hack, how's it going? Rob. They said a Kit Bash ship is coming. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that here in a moment. But yeah, the Grawl will be over on console on Tuesday with a key and lobby sale most likely. And then on PC, we should be getting the Orchid probably the same day. Because if you look at the roadmap does list that PC is going to get the Orion Orchid here in April, so Tuesday would be the day for that. And this is what the Orion Orchid looks like. In some ways, it reminds me... I'm getting some like Packlid Clump ship vibes from some of the shape here. I know that's a little bit different, but I'm curious to see what they've done with this ship. Whether or not I'm going to get it is going to depend entirely on the stats. It's a TOS 2270 ship. Gotcha. Still no Tribble updates. Tribble is something that they want to bring back, but I'm not aware of any, like, new updates in the last month or so. Nah, Tribble they do want to bring back. That even popped up. Did I keep that in the conversation? So there's parts of the conversation with Mike and Thomas that I did cut out. Like, I mentioned consoles at one point, but the way I phrased it, I was it was really late into the interview, and at that point, like my brain, like hearing the nephew crying a room over was like it was impacting my mentality at that point. I was like, I was really stressed, worried that they were hearing it. It was, yeah, I was worried. Yeah, so the orchid, which I somehow said Orchio in the video, but the orchid that is R&D promo, so that does mean you're going to see an influx of the duty officer packs like Delta onto the market. So your crit doffs are going to have a bit more supply. The scramble fighters trait's going to have a bit more supply. There's going to be more R&D materials on the market. That there's going to be a lot going on. We'll probably see a like an R&D and DOF event at some point during the promo drop also. Yeah, Darth, that's a good point, if I remember. Watch them put a meta trait on it. But yeah, the Orchid, I would expect again on Tuesday. And then they also showed the Damocles, which is an Infinity Lockbox ship that is going to be dropping in May on PC and June over on console. So the Damocles is on the Crossfield skeleton. Pundus did some magic to make that work, according to Thomas. So saving up EC for July, prepping for the Bird of Prey release. If it's good, you passed on buying the Trafalgar for now. Yeah, so this is the Damocles Infinity Lockbox ship that we're getting next month on PC. And alongside that, there's an Infinity Lockbox contents update. Jeremy did confirm that this is just putting the partners in crime items in. So your Breen Shield tunneling trait that's really expensive right now, that should see a pretty huge influx of supply when it's added to the Infinity Space Trait box. So the price on that should drop drastically. If you have any Breen Shield tunneling on you right now, I would recommend you dump your supply immediately. Like Breen Shield tunneling, that's at 150 right now. And I mean, what's a good day to die going for? A good day to die. Yeah, so you're looking at the Breen Shield tunneling basically dropping to a third of its current price. Now, on the flip side, because there's not going to be people opening the Breen lockbox, that does mean that the Breen Kethsar will probably go up in price because there's an influx of supply right now for it because people are still opening partners in crime to try and get the trait. So the ship from that box will probably go up. So if you've been thinking about picking up a Breen Kethsar, which is a pretty decent little ship, like if you've been thinking of picking one of those up, then doing so sooner rather than later is probably a good idea. Because when it hits Infinity, like it's going to start to normalize with the price of the other Infinity ships. Logical. What else would you expect? What's going on with the fleet shop? We're going to get to that here in a moment. Yeah, so the with regards to the fleet stuff, in June, it's been announced that there's going to be a fleet store update and a Phoenix prize pack update. But before I get to that, I do want to mention a couple other things that were mentioned on the stream the other day. So I just mentioned the Infinity Lockbox update, bring the partners in crime stuff over. But with the summer event, the GOM2 ship from that, which let me get a picture of that up on screen for you guys. GOM2. They did announce that we're getting a bridge for this. So, yeah, this is the summer ship right here. And it does have like this weird interior, and apparently we are getting that interior. Yeah, so I don't know what the ship is going to be, but I guess like its special thing that it did was this effect that destroyed the Romulan Daederidex. So to me, this screams like a science-y style effect, to be honest. Like this seems like a, with Stowe, like that'd be a science console of some sort. Yeah, so we're getting a unique bridge with the summer ship, and the summer ship is the GOM2. Yeah. New jelly incoming. What we need is I've talked about this before. We need a an Nadarian Defender flight deck carrier that launches smaller Nadarians. A jellyfish that deploys more Nadarian jellyfish, yeah. Psionic type attack, potentially. But the other stuff here in June, there's Delta recruitment, which is a big thing for a lot of people, of course. But then there's this Fleet Store update and the Phoenix Prize Pack update. The Phoenix Prize Pack update is probably moving some of the items from the Muds market that aren't really selling anymore over to Phoenix, like we've seen them do a couple times in the past year or so. But for the Fleet Store update, in discussions that Thomas has had, one thing that kept popping up was like alternate versions of existing ships. Like that popped up a couple times in a couple of the interviews earlier this year. So I wonder if that might be something we see. Like, if they're looking at options like that, like they don't have to create new traits. They don't have to create new consoles when they're doing a fleet ship. It's literally an existing ship just with alternate stats. So my thought is, what is a bundle that's also been talked about recently is not selling super well? Timeless Legacy. I think that would probably be a good start for them. It is Fed ships. I'd like to see, more than Fed ships, but I could see there being some like fleet versions of the Timeless Legacy ships put in. Some alternate fleet versions that have more appealing stats. Like, I think that would be a good start for them. Imagine also like the Heritage Bundle ships with different stats on them. Like, imagine a Typhon with a different secondary specialization. Like, there's a lot of room for them to experiment with that sort of stuff, and the alternate versions of ships in the fleet store, like that could be a way to get people interested into the fleet system again, for sure. Another thing that I'm really hoping for is Reman infiltrators. I've talked about this a couple times, including in my most recent bridge officer video, the best bridge officer video. But basically, the issue is that the Romulan faction is currently the only faction in the game that is able to really lean in and fully spec into the cloaking mechanic in the game. And it really boils down to the fact that right now, aside from the KDF recruit, the Romulan faction is the only one that can access Reman infiltrators, which is a trait that allows you to extend the duration of cloak ambush. So that's a big thing there, because there are a lot of people on Fed side that want to do cloaking. There's a lot of people on non-Romulan characters that want to play around with that mechanic a bit more, and without having access to those infiltrator bridge officers, you can't really get that much out of it. no matter how much you dump in on a non-Romulan character, just as it is right now, that there's just certain limitations, especially around the ambush time, that prevent you from being able to do much with it. So if they go in and open that up, that would be quite nice. And like if they were to introduce some like bridge officers that have combos, new unique combos of abilities on them, um, like or if they give us alternative ways to get certain combos, like a bridge officer with infiltrator and superior Romulan operative, that that would be a pretty big deal for people, really looking to play with like the cloaking stuff, and it would be a good resource sink for sure. Um, it's not a huge deal, but a battle cloak on a ship has been a deciding factor on certain pickups for me, despite being a Fed. Yeah, full spec Kabali Samzar cruiser, please. They're not making T7. T7 will never happen. Would be nice to have new bridge officers altogether with new traits. Yeah, actual Klingon bridge officers with space traits would be nice. Yeah, and I'd be completely open to that because people want like a superior Romulan operative or watcher equivalent that is a human or a Vulcan. Um, just giving other races access to those traits on the bridge officers would be good. That would be enabling people to get that level of customization that they want. A T6X3, whenever that happens, will probably just be another console and trait slot. I mean, watchers are human-esque, yeah. But I mean, there's like bridge officers and alternate ships are like probably some of the easier options for them. Um, they could always add in more fleet weapons, but they'd have to. I think for fleet weapons, it would have to be there's just a really cool visual, or like they've actually got a proc on them that does something. Do I think the server issues will ever fully be fixed? Short of a no. I don't. I think that they can continue chipping away at the server issues, but I don't right now. I don't think they'll ever be fully resolved. Bughole has gone. Um, Add a bridge officer slot. I don't know. The another thing they could do too is sell us extra slots. So I talked about this not long ago, but by default, you have 5 active space and ground duty officers. You can buy a 6th slot over at your fleet spire, but there was a bug a very long time ago that showed us that it was actually possible to have up to 8. So if they were to go in and give us those extra 2 slots, that would give us more options for what we could do with our bridge officers. Do I think they are working or even contemplating a Stow 2? No, I don't think they're thinking about that at all. It's yeah, Raw, it's I think I'm just waiting on the sorry I didn't get back to you. I'm just waiting on the guy to get back to me about the getting the invite your way. Uh Raw, I'm gonna really quick swap over and I want you to message this guy as well and just whichever message he sees first. People want Stow 2, but Stow 2 is not going to happen. Stow 2 is not a thing. It's not a thing they're even thinking about. Okay. Okay, Dread, you gotta send this guy a message with your... Yeah, I'd sent him your fleet name the other day, but I think he probably tried after 3 days and saw it was like that there it still didn't go through, so I just been some confusion there with that. Yeah, just shoot that guy a message. I'd love to see some sort of expansion to the game. As someone who started playing post Victory's Life, it's mostly been events and story content. Um, Dan, thank you for the super chats. Gibbs, I see your message. Dan, thank you for the bits as well. Servers are the key bottleneck here to get. It was interesting. I was getting a little bit of lag on the gamma the other day. I need to move some more stuff over. Let's go here. I didn't use either logical. I haven't done anything there yet. That was more of just for the meme. I want to drop a bunch of research assignments and duty officers over onto the new character. On CasualSAB, yeah. I'm surprised. I logged in and that character name was still there. That was a bit surprising. I'm gonna drop all of the research assignments onto that character. What's the character name? You know what the name is. You saw the name. I see it, Tenor. Just want to ship. Yeah, so you guys know me with the meme names. I was like, what do I want to name my new character? I realize I'm over it right now. So I made the new character, the free one, and I deleted it right away because I didn't want another Jem'Hadar tack. But I realized I don't have a Jem'Hadar Vanguard science yet, so I decided to make a science. And you guys know how much I mispronounce things, and I decided what better name than to honor the one and only CasualSAB. I thought about that, Steven. I thought about that. I realized I should have also did like a K instead of just the C there for Carl. I should have fully leaned into the mispronunciation. Oh, we got a super chat here, Mr. Cookie Monster. Would I think we get the Mayflower class in the Kelvin bundle? Yeah, I think that's a real possibility. In fact, I want to pull up the page I had. So, Neok might be here right now, but Neok's done a really nice breakdown of all of the ships that were confirmed. Also, Thomas did mention the Jaeger class is going to be coming to Stowe, so that is a ship that's been memed on for ages, and it looks like we're finally going to get it. Um, it's happening later in the year. Um, but yeah, with regards to the Kelvin bundle, there's another post here from Neok going over some of the speculation. Um, I know the Salicome is a ship that people have asked about quite a bit. The Newton, the Mayflower. Um, so there's some commentary here. Long requested and very likely option for the Newton. Unfortunately, even though Kit Bash with Proxima would seem likely, the scales evidently do not line up according to pundits. Terrible. That's certainly a unique design, and I mean the fact that they did the Proxima last year has given them some experience doing these double hull designs like that. So I could see that being a thing. So that the Proxima is not the only like double hull ship like that. Yeah, I'll get the Endeavors done. Terrible. Then there's the Mayflower class, which sort of is like a Calvin Miranda. I think that'd be cool. I haven't seen Triz's reaction yet to all this, but I can imagine Triz is going crazy. The Armstrong's also, that's a unique design. But like, I feel the Salicome or Salcombe class, however you pronounce it, like that's a ship people have been asking for. Like, I see this pop up on Reddit like every month. It feels like so. I think that they know people want this ship, and I feel like that would be quite likely. Am I gonna do the Days of Doom Universal? Cypher, how's it gone? What is this even from? It's from the end of Star Trek Beyond. It was one of the most detailed background ships that we saw in Beyond, apparently. Capra, how's it going? Pizza cutter design. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're getting a Kelvin Timeline Zen Store bundle, and like I feel like these are certainly the most likely ships because if we go back to the roadmap, um, where's that Kelvin bundle? Yeah, so in July is Season 36 and the Kelvin Timeline Starship bundle on PC. And then in August, there's a Kelvin Timeline Starship, Romulan Starship, so that's R&D promo, and that's probably the Narada. At least that's what people are hoping for. Into Darkness refit. Also, Klingon Starship here. I mean, this is pretty much known to be the Cavort, right? That's something that popped up in prior interviews. I mean, I just hope for the Narada. I want a Breen Thought, basically, stats wise, that's just temporal and intel. That's what I want. Give me a temp intel Breen Thought as this Romulan ship, and I will be happy. Temp intel, that's what I want. I mean, but they've given us many really big ships in the past couple years that they've scaled down. I mean, look at the Breen Thought, for instance. You know, that was a massive ship, and they scaled that down. But yeah, I think a nice big Romulan ship with 2 hangar bays, temp intel. like attack dread, like the odd dot. That's what I want. Has to be real scale. I don't know. The Narada looks pretty sciencey to you. Some would even say it needs a miracle worker to hold it together. Logical don't even say that. Will the Kelvin ships be single ships to buy? Yeah, so these will be like this is the summer Zen store bundle, so that would be um that'd be like your heritage bundle, timeless legacy, like that would be available to buy standalone or in the bundle. And then yeah, later on in the roadmap in September, you can see Alien Starship from TNG, which I think Thomas said somebody on Reddit had already guessed it as of Tuesday. And there's also another Federation starship in the Infinity Lockbox there, so lots of things incoming. Elpatron. That's terrible. How big is that supposed to be? Um, I don't know. I mean, I think the Cavort being a pilot command ship would be interesting with enhanced battle cloak, like a big bird of prey. But I could also see the Cavort. It's a bit larger from what I recall, so I could also see like a Strike-Wing escort potentially working for that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a picture here. Hold on. Cavort. Cavort class. A playable ESD. Terrible. I'm having a hard time finding the picture I saw the other day. But yeah, it's supposed to be a lot bigger than the other bird of preys. Um, one of the ships from Picard, like the Gene class. Yeah, nuclear triad. That'd be cool. You know, give us more strike wing escorts. I mean, if they gave us a pilot command strike wing escort, like that would set it apart from like the Eagle. I mean, if it is another 4-2, that'll be disappointing. I feel like personally the ships that lose weapons to gain the flanking, like your raiders, the scout ships, I personally feel that they're a little bit behind. I don't think that the flanking bonus makes up for the loss of a weapon. Um, especially like as you get to higher performance levels. I mean, you're talking about losing a weapon to gain what, like 40, 50 cat 2 when flanking, and on some of those builds you're going to have hundreds upon hundreds of cat 2. I think when you look at some of the numbers on like the very bleeding edge builds, you might have like 1,000% cat 2 in some instances, so we're up around there once you include crit D, so it just isn't really worth the trade-off for some people. Is it worth waiting for the Delta Recruit event to make a Romulan? I would say, I mean, the perks there. If you've never, have you made a Delta Recruit at all before, Corio? Have you made a Delta Recruit before? And if yes, have you made a Romulan before, or like, is it that you've just made one for the other factions? I would say, I mean, if you don't mind waiting, a month and a half, like I would wait because that is a nice set of rewards that you're going to unlock for your account. I'd say given you just started, work on the Jemadar recruit right now. Start getting some of the rewards unlocked from that because that'll help give you a head start on the future characters. Um, Still waiting on a legendary Vanguard Dreadnought carrier. Yeah, Dominions seem to have been a bit screwed in recent years. I'd like to see some more Jemadar ships. Like a legendary Dominion bundle with the the Gem Dread carrier, giving it a Vanguard upgrade, better seating, that'd be cool, and then like a Galore. Giving us a nice legendary Galore or Keldon would be pretty cool. Uh, Captain Wallace, he may have. I don't remember. Hightower, what are my thoughts on the Kelvin Timeline bundle and also the Rami Kelvin ship? Yeah, we were just talking about that, and the Mayflower is a very, very possible ship there. Blanc has a gun. What if they put the Nadarian in Phoenix? That would be bad. Um, ships going from Muds to Phoenix is actually pretty bad because with the Mud store, you're paying 42.50 to get the ship on account wide unlock, whereas with the Epic Phoenix, that's just getting you the ship on one character, and each Epic Phoenix token cost like 70-80 bucks worth of dilithium, so it's a much worse deal. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. So going back to the roadmap here, with the season 36 stuff, um, it sounds like I didn't catch every last bit of it, so I don't want to be completely off on the phrasing, but it sounds like they're going to do something special there that may not necessarily be part of the current story arc. I think is what I was hearing there. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think Thomas was saying it's they're still going to work on the Kings and Queens arc, but that this was going to be something special, different. I need to pull that VOD back up before I get myself in trouble. Okay, Dark Eddie, thank you, thank you. They said they were going to hold off on the current arc and give something special. Gotcha. You think it's season 37? Yeah, I mean it would with the everything going on this year. I mean it would be. I think that would bring people back into that want to experience something new. Um, I do feel that there's a few people in that position, Michael. And I think doing something different story wise would bring some people back in. Um, because this has been a longer arc, it doesn't appeal to every last person, and I think doing something different, being able to explore something different would be good. 60th, and yeah, so something special, some special content here that is meant to go along with this being the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. Yeah, that would be very nice. An actual exploration mission. I mean, that'd be cool. I think they do want to do exploration stuff. It's just finding a way to get that into Stowe with how Stowe is developed over the years is a little bit rough. Yeah, expanding on stuff to do in sector space, just a hunch. That'll be cool. They've got Spencer guest starring as the big bad Ferengi. Wow. Logical. Add capital ships. We already basically have that with stuff like the Odd Thought. Yeah, there used to be random exploration mini missions. That was a long time ago. Some random missions in sector space to add some life there, I think would be cool. Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of good stuff incoming. I know that there's been some people upset at the amount of Infinity Lockbox and promo stuff that popped up on here, but still there's a lot that's going to be happening, as the year progresses. And I think I saw Jack mention he wants to do these sorts of roadmaps every 6 or so months. So um, if that's the case, then we're going to have a pretty good idea, consistently of what's going to be happening with the game, which is good. That's a very nice change for the future. Deep space encounters in sector space that are in desperate need of a rework. Yeah. Galaxy class capital ship. I mean, whatever ship you're flying is your capital ship. You can make it. You can build it out to do whatever you want. Do I think we could get another space weapon set for the Crystalline event? I think that would be cool, Gastendorf. But when we looked at the events that we've had thus far this year, like it's been space rewards so far, hasn't it? Yeah, because the first event, no one gave us a space reward, a space device. The second event gave us some space weapons. So the third event is probably going to be like that space. Like at some point, there's got to be ground. Um, yeah, Captain Wallace. Are they going to replace the partners lockbox with the new box, or just it's going to stick with Infinity? Jeremy said the other day that the incoming Infinity lockbox update was to add the partners in crime stuff into Infinity, which again means that I'm at the wrong console here. That the Kethsar will probably increase in price because it's going to that there's not going to be as much supply of the Breen Kethsar with people not opening partners in crime anymore. So, like, if you guys want to get a Kethsar while they're still under $1 billion, I would do so sooner rather than later. Um, in fact, I think one of those listings is mine, and I'm going to pull it down. Because we'll probably see the Kethsar normalize with the rest of the market. Yeah, so Kethsar should see less supply, therefore price will go up. But on the flip side, did I pull it down already? How many do I have in my bank? There should be 2. Okay, now to find what character I've got it posted on. But Breen showed tunneling, which is a really popular personal space trait. It's a meta trait, even after it got nerfed. that should see its price drop by like a third of what it, or to a third of what it is now, because it's at around um it's at around 150 mil right now, but it should go down to around 50, 60. Yeah. Yeah, I would say there's not really a need to continue holding on to the Partners in Crime box. That this is very much the time to divest of those assets. Yeah, Breen show tunneling is going to be very accessible, which is a good thing. The Kethsar will move to Infinity, but the issue for the Kethsar is that with it moving to Infinity, people aren't going to choose it from the choice pack. When a ship is in Infinity, part of the issue with Infinity is that we can't sell the choice packs. So with that, the prices of ships go up as there's more options in there. So Kethsar, the reason the Kethsar was so cheap is because people were opening the Partners in Crime lockbox to get the trait. And the getting the ship ended up being like a secondary perk. The battery quartermaster should go down because we have a promo dropping coming. I don't know if they'll do like immediately. Like we should see probably right at day one like some sort of sale on the Dolphin R&D packs. That'll bring the prices down, so long as people go for the DOF packs rather than the R&D packs. A lot of people default to the R&D promos. I wish more people would go for the DOF ones. I said this to Suna a while back, but I wish there was also like a bigger bundle and like standalone bundles for each of the DOF packs, so I could buy like a 4-pack of Fleet Support, a 4-pack of Delta. Like I'd like to have that, or like a bigger option for like a 20-pack of Deltas. I wouldn't necessarily be the one buying that, but I know a lot of people that play the market that would buy like a discounted 20-pack of, Delta promos. Um yeah, some older lockbox and promo ships should go into the Lobby store. Yeah, the Lobby store at this point is not in the best position. A lot of the space gear, ground gear has fallen behind, and could use some modernization. Yeah, believe it or not, Dark Eddie, I'm not the biggest market player. There's people that have a lot more assets than I, that have a lot more resources. I don't even have a billion EC on me right now. Like I've got a fair bit of assets. Like I've got enough that if I wanted to gear out another character, like I could do so over time. Um, but I'm not rolling in like thousands upon thousands of keys like some people are. Kyle, how's it going? Elite, nice. I'm glad you're having fun with it. I think some of the Lobby stuff should be outright moved to the lithium. I think the Kellids. I think when you get the full collection of all 16, it needs to flash your name across the screen to everyone in the game, like the old no-win thing. Um, so I can, get epic creator code CasualSAB out there. Yeah, Sora. I know you and your market play. You got boatloads of keys. How many ship boxes are you up to, Sora? How has Partner in Crime Box become worthless when you have other theme lockboxes still working and viable? So the reason the Borg lockbox is still as profitable as it is because the drop rate for the Borg DOF packs in Infinity is actually lower than the ships. That's right. You have a better chance of winning a tier 6 ship from the Infinity lockbox uh, than winning a Borg Doff pack from Infinity, because there's no choice pack for the Doff packs. Um, Whereas if you open the Borg lockbox, it's like a 7% drop rate or something. Captain Sort of, thank you for the bits. Greatly appreciate it. 21 Infinity. I'm down right now. I've got this is my entire like ship box collection right now. Is one of each. One of each. Oof, logical, that's rough. But the other lockbox that people open aside from Infinity still is the other big one I should say is a Safe Galaxy, and that's because the Watchers, if I recall, those just don't drop from Infinity at all. Like when they put the Safe Galaxy stuff into Infinity, they forgot to put the bridge officers in. Um, so like there's a couple of older lock boxes that still have value to open for reasons like that. First, open 300 Infinity and no Borg, yeah. Yeah, the Infinity, the lack of choice packs for certain categories is really bad, but also the fact that you can't just go out and sell or trade some of these choice packs is also very negative for the market. Um, look at the Infinity T6 ship box. Look at how many ships are in there. When Bob, wins a ship and doesn't know, what to go for, they're going to look up, what are like what's the top DPS option or whatever, and you're going to see, like a Trafalgar, a Credence pop up, and that's why you see a lot of those really popular meta ships on the market, because that's what people default to, because they don't have the time to go through and look up all 60 ships in this. Who's got time for that? Um, like if the choice packs themselves could be sold or traded, that would bring the price of stuff down quite substantially. Hold on, I need to look at something. I have an order at the door I need to go grab. I will be right back. Terrible. Okay. Where were we at? Let's see. Got it. Thank you for advice. Watch for something in lockbox that didn't go in Infinity. Yeah. Yeah. Printum Chronophage will probably also drop in price. So that's how I do it. If I haven't heard CasualSAB mention it, I don't get it. Oh no. I've been inspired by that to not use keys. Orange chicken delivery? No, it was just a Walmart order. Yeah, get rid of the brain show tunnelings. Get them up on the market. Sell them for what you can get out of them. The price will probably go 50, 60 here uh, in a couple weeks. Walmart sells orange chicken? No. What market did I spot that had a gap? None. Oh, talking about market play though, with the fleet stuff, we don't know what's gonna happen there, but stuff that's always good to keep an eye on is stuff like the bonus pools. Bonus pools, a lot of casual players will forget about these. A lot of you probably have forgotten about them, but like fleet credit bonus pools, that is really cheap, and I don't have EC on me. No. Can I get to that before someone else does? Yes. I got it. Okay. But fleet credit bonus pools, those are always really valuable. That's getting you an extra 20% fleet credits on whatever it is that you're earning from your fleet. So having a good stockpile of those is always good. Keeping an eye on those markets, always a smart idea. Looks like all these have went up, so let's check Mark bonus pool. Wow. All of the bonus pools are already a bit higher than normal. Like, quite a bit higher. Terrible Bridger. No, the Walmart order was just a prescription and some other odds and ends. Case of water, some Powerade, all the fun stuff. Let's go back to credit bonus pool though. I mean, this is just my opinion. Not trying to do market manipulation too much here, but the market's already been cleared out pretty heavily. Um, Buying that stack there, 99 for 60 mil, may not be a bad idea for one of you. Because the bonus pool market is getting slammed. Oh, Bridger, thank you for the 20 gifted. I'm sorry, I just saw that. I don't know why that didn't pop up on my thing. Thank you, Bridger. Christopher, can you repost your question? Did I miss it? Yeah, repost your question and I'll address it. Is Sagan the one that has that very convenient listing up? No. My bonus pools are kept on my TAC Gemidar, and I don't have any of them posted right now. Yeah, poor lockbox gambler here is usually where I keep my bonus pools and some of the other account-wide bonuses. It's just somewhere I remember to put them. So right now, I mean, I've probably got more than what the entire market has, but yeah, I've got. I mean, there's not even 2 stacks worth on the market. What about for the 35s? When are we getting a strip club fleet holding? Well, I didn't see your first message, but to answer your question, Christopher, we already have one. We already have one over on the KDF side. The KDF Starbase has the KDF Starbase has Orions in there, right in the lounge. So you're just, if you're a Fed, you're just on the wrong faction. You should take advantage of the Klingon recruit, make yourself a nice Gemidar aligned or KDF aligned Gemidar, and there you go. You've got Orions right at the Starbase. And yeah, if you want that, there's also Drozana. Yeah, I showed this the other day, but the KDF Starbase, especially if you've got one that's like fully decked out, you've got a very nice lounge area. You've got I forget what the thing is in there that's on the floor, but you got like a bear rug style thing. You got a fireplace, you got a bar, you got the Orions. There's a little blood wine area. The Cheops likes to dance there when no one is around. Mugado, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the Mugado rug. Nice, Dark Eddie. Oh no. Yeah, Klingons have all the fun, exactly. If held... Quick question. If held by a tree actor beam... If held by a tractor beam, does deuterium surplus break you from its hold or whatever it's doing to you? Doesn't necessarily break it, but it might give you enough of a speed boost to get away from it. It really depends on the stats of both parties. But I mean, yeah, it's like if you were hitting evasive, like depending on what level of control that opposing tractor beam has, I mean, it might be enough for you to get away from it. But let's see here. Green shield tunneling. I want to see if the market's crashed at all in the time we've been talking. No. This is like my personal reserve of stuff. I probably should sell some of these. I could probably get like a ship or two out of some of these stacks. Just a lot of hoarding. Yeah, the prices on these really are crazy right now, though. What's crafting at? Yeah, so that could be a couple Infinity Lockbox ships. Oh boy. Look at this blast from the past. This character, 3 technicians. Oh boy. Horatia, too. Um... huh. Nice, sirs. Is the Gamma Recruit more to buy the NX bundle? Wild, what do you mean right there? Will they ever add the ability to give Zen? Probably not, because there'd be concerns about to me, what would immediately jump out is concerns about regional price abuse. That's not as big of an issue as it was, say, 5 years ago, but that is still, something I would be concerned about if I were them. I mean, you see that even with like some platforms like Xbox, where they have to go in and deal with people buying cheap Zen in other regions, or not cheap Zen, cheap whatever the Xbox currency is, gold, whatever. But yeah, I talked about that stuff years ago, and they did do a big crackdown on the regional price abuse for stuff like that. Yeah, Martin got bit screwed over by all that. No, Marion? No, but I got a Ty Heth. Ty Heth is such a good duty officer. Ty Heth and the Fed equivalent QLL, basically whenever you hit emergency powered subsystem abilities, there's 4 chances over 2 seconds to remove any debuffs that you have. Xbox just has regular gift cards nowadays. No, while this was... This has been planned for a while. That this is... Yeah, that this was not... The Gamma recruits were not done explicitly to get more people to buy the 16th bundle. That this is, like they talked about, the point of this is to bring people back into the game. Is to give people a quick way to get in and experience what Stowe has to offer. Yeah. I mean, there are still cheaper ways to get, like gift cards and that, like, for Xbox and PlayStation. If you have like a Sam's or Costco membership, you can usually buy the gift cards there at a little bit of a discount. So I mean, there are still ways to save money. It's just not as not to the level as what people used to do. Yeah, I would love a slots and services sale. I mean, I really am surprised that there isn't a start your adventure sale right now with this event, because I would have went in and I would have maxed out a couple things over on my my new character. Like, I would have went over to CasualSAB in here and I would have bought all the DOS slots. If I'd had 25% off, they would have got more money. I do think maybe revising what the starter build is for the Jem'Hadars might be a good idea for any future iterations of stuff like this. I see your message there, Chiaps. Terrible. Also, for some reason, a bunch of my ships did not pop up on my list here. Like, my ship roster's missing a lot of my Zen Store purchases. I don't know why. I don't know what I have to do to fix that, but for some reason it did not auto-detect all of the ship purchases I have, because I should have like 300 ships here, not 150. Yeah. I've tried, Gast, ever since I made this yesterday. Talk to the ship manager. I mean, I can give that a try. They may have reduced the players per instance. How many do we have here? Oh, I'm curious. So it's 2:40 p.m. Central Time. So that'd be like 8 to 9 for Europeans. I want to know how many instances are over on console right now, over on PlayStation. Let's get the screen up. Let me resize this window here quick. We're not doing much over here. I already have my daily done. But I want to see how many instances are there over there. 2? it's interesting to see the difference in activity between the platforms. $20.39 on a Friday evening. Imagine staying in playing Stowe. Who'd do that? No, none of us. Never. That's a good point. Yeah, just wow. Oof. A total of 30 people on PlayStation DS9 right now. 30 people compared to... Where'd that go? Let's add the numbers up here. So 30 on PlayStation. Let's pull up the calculator so I don't mess it up too bad. We got 121 between those instances at the bottom, 19, 23, 29, 28, 30 against 222. Is there someone on Xbox that can give us the numbers there? Like, don't inconvenience yourself if you're doing something else or you don't have it on. Just if you're actively on Xbox right now. Yeah, I'm just curious what the numbers are. Terrible. I do want to say too. I mentioned this in my stream yesterday, but I did receive some codes from Arc. This is on PlayStation. So that's PlayStation down there at the bottom left. Yeah, 32 now. But I did receive some codes from Arc for some tier 6 ship coupons. So from what it sounds like, the codes can be used on any platform. So you guys are going to see those giveaways starting to pop up over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Just giving you guys a heads up here. Yeah, you don't have to have like the PlayStation membership at all to play Stowe. Like aside from buying the console, like I've not given PlayStation any other money. Well, and for a controller. I got the fancy controller over next to me still. ESD is the real meter. Terrible. Yeah, this account just for to show you guys, reps are coming along. Um, I know these should have been done ages ago, but they're getting there. I'm working on it. Serious progression. So things are progressing, and I'm not too far off from being able to claim some more of the nice rewards from the recruit here. Reputation. Ooh, I actually got... Nice. I've got all of the reputation tasks done for the temporal recruit. Nice. So that means that all my future rep projects will give me Mark 13 Ultra Rare. That makes things a lot cheaper for characters. Okay. Let's get the PlayStation closed. Um, Terrible. Logical, I saw your message. I've popped a bunch of mark boxes over on the new recruit here. So for this recruit, it already had the Omega, Nukara, and Iconian reps at tier 5. That's one of the perks of the Vanguard. But I'm going to go through and get these tier 1 upgrades done here quick and get the next batch of projects started. All the upgrades. Yeah, that's true. That's not much of an issue for me, but it is definitely something to note for folks that are on more of a budget. You are losing out on some of that fleet or the reputation deal. Yep, just a lot of clicks to do here, especially as you're getting all the tiers done at the same time. A lot of buttons. All the buttons. There we go. I mean, it starting at tier 5 is also really nice because one of the nice perks of this is if you're a brand new player, you can use one of these Jemadars to instantly get the rep sponsorship done for those three, for those reputations for all the characters on your account. So when you're just starting out, getting a Jemadar on there, especially a Gem Vanguard, that's going to make your future rep grind easier because you've got 3 of the reps that are going to progress a little bit faster. I took advantage of that over on PlayStation, and like that's just a really nice little trick just to help make things, just ever so slightly easier. But yeah, it's now a little bit of a wait here, so it's still, even with me having the sponsorship on this account already, I need 20 days to get these up to tier 5, and then another 30 days after that to get them up to tier 6. So it's going to be about 2 months until this character is actually done rep-wise, and that's with me, keeping up, staying logged in with it. Reach level 65. What's this get me? What marks do I want here? It doesn't really matter. I have so many mark boxes available account-wide, it doesn't matter. I'll do Discovery. I also got me some EC and some rep deal vouchers. Very nice. Rep progress, tier 1. That's going to be some more marks. Let's do Delta. And for this, doesn't really matter. What is the competitive one again? Assess Stratagem. Yeah, I just picked the lowest. Yeah. I have. Remember sponsorship tokens? Yeah, I think I have some on a character somewhere. But yeah, it's I mean, there are some other nice perks here. Like as soon as I re-engineer an item, I'm gonna get this large salvage pack, which will give me a lot of that's a pretty large bonus pool, a lot of extra salvage. I don't really want to sell or redo any of the gear I have on me right now. I need to redo the Pavin on this character, so let me just grab that. Space equipment, Pavin Omni. And again, an upgrade event just started, so if you guys have any upgrades you need to do, on PC, like this is the time to do it. So I've got... I could use an ultimate, but I've also got a couple upgrades here, so let's just use these. How far can that get me? Got it up to 15. Good enough. Don't want to re-engineer that. You upgraded 3 characters to mark 15 weapons and consoles. Very nice. I don't know what I want to do yet on this character. In chat yesterday, one of the ideas that popped up was perhaps I should just see how far I can get this character using just the stuff I have on account-wide unlock. Then the question was, do I also include the MUDs bundles in that? Because if I include MUDs bundles, which is stuff that I have unlocked account-wide, I don't really view that as being that different than a, than a Zen Store bundle. That would mean I would have Crossfield Refit, Disco D7, Near Warship. Stagan could be your unconless uncon. Terrible. We are learning about everything he hoards. Keep logging characters so I can keep checking it out. Terrible. Oh no, so if I was to do that sort of challenge, I'd probably have to put up like a poll. But I think that'd be cool, just to see how far I could push a character just off the stuff I have unlocked account-wide. Obviously, Space Straits would be... I'd still have to get those. There's no way to get, like, Uncon account-wide. Yeah. But that's the thought. The other thing is, too, with these characters... Oh, I got another task done. Enhanced upgrade. There we go. What Klingon Infinity ship do I think is incoming? The Cavort. I think it is. Does someone have a picture of the Cavort they can put in Discord? The lower decks one where it's got the other bird of prey next to it? I'm going to Google it. Images. Yeah, it's like a larger bird of prey. I'm trying to find it, but the Google Images is failing me. I don't know how Google Images is failing me so much right now. Aljo's bird. Thank you. Yeah, this thing here. Starting pictures here. Logical, thank you. Logical with the save here. So this is the bird of prey we're thinking it is, yeah. With the two smaller bird of preys below it. So imagine like to me, like a strike wing escort. They also mentioned the USS Athena. I mean, possibly realist. Yeah, truthfully, we do need more strike wings in the game. What do we have right now? Okay, strike wing escort. Guess I'm gonna have to just search here. Filter by condition. Text contains strike wing. There we go. Not many options, to be honest, especially KDF wise. Let me remove the non-fleet ones here. So you've got the legendary Valdor, the Norway, Delkina, the Sec, the Angle, the Mirror Angle. Uh, I mean, I think a strike wing would be really cool. Yeah, someone apparently guessed it over on Reddit for the alien ship. Yeah, Intel Temp. I would be fine with like for a KDF bird of prey. People want to do torps. Make it pilot command, strike wing escort with enhanced battle cloak. Like that would be really cool. Um, well, the roadmap. Hold on. We do have the remap or the remastered version of Crystalline next month. But then there is season 36 and 37. So I mean, content wise, like the new content, it's a couple months out. But yes, there is new stuff incoming. Yes, the Fleet Norway is still broken ever since the World Razor issues last year. The Torellian starship or Tolarian, yeah. Yeah, so there is new content incoming, and like we were talking about before, it's not going to be part of the Kings and Queen story arc. It's going to be something different. The Kings and Queen story arc is not done, it's just basically on hold while they do some other stuff to celebrate the 60th anniversary. The stats on the Norway are lower than they're meant to be. So the Zen Store version of the Norway has like more hull capacity and stats like that than the fleet version. It's been broken ever since the World Razor stuff happened last year, where we saw a bunch of ships get scrambled. They fixed a bunch of them, but the Norways managed to slip through. Yeah, that'd be cool. By the way, I didn't have coffee today. I had a big cup of tea, and I mixed some honey in. Kings and Queens suffered a lot from the double transition. Yeah, yeah. It's annoyed people for a while. Yeah, I do definitely want to do an updated like best phaser video. But for all the damage types, that was a very popular video, and it is definitely something I want to revisit. No, I like Earl Grey's always been good. No coffee. I didn't want the dairy. Um, the dairy in the past couple days, like I had a cup of coffee a couple days ago, and it just really did not go well for my throat. That was made by bees, Warp Core. Yeah, dairy with congestion is no bueno. Exactly. But I mean, I'm excited to see what they do here. The Fleet Store updates is what stands out to me, is what I'm really curious about. Um, I would like to see some additional stuff for fleets done, like giving us more beta and gamma slots in the Armada. That would be really beneficial too. Um, there's that Armada bug I recently talked about that I'd like to see fixed also. Just for those that are not familiar with it, um, basically there's an issue with the Fleet Armada right now, where if you have a project that you're trying to like go in and contribute dilithium to, like that needs duty officers. Well, I bungled that up. If there's a project in the Armada that needs duty officers, and you go to try and use dilithium instead, um, you can't you can't use the dilithium to fill the project. You're supposed to be able to. You're supposed to be able to use dilithium instead of duty officers, but it doesn't let you. I can contribute dilithium to other projects normally, but to the duty officers, even if I put a duty officer in and also try to use dilithium for the other slots, it doesn't go through. It's bugged. If I'm looking at my own fleet and there's a project here that needs duty officers, is there one? Yeah, so this is a duty officer spot, but I can put dilithium instead. That works fine. But if I try to do that for another fleet in the Armada, it doesn't work. Mort, how's it going? SLB, thank you for stopping by. Would it be possible to convert the spreadsheet of ships to a database with pictures? I mean, there's other versions of that out there. I forget the website, but there's like STO ships DB or something like that that has selection also. Majestic Sovereign is a flight deck carrier. Yeah, I mean, some better fleet weapons would be cool too. Oh, you stopped updating it? Okay. Guys, I'll be back in just a second. We just had another delivery put at the door, so I will be right back. I just gotta grab it. Okay. Stream old, there we go. We need more lances in the game, terrible. Unlocking special ships for your fleet and duty officers. I mean, so to me, you know, what do I want to see from like the fleet update? Like what store additions do I want? I want to just recap that. What do I want to see from the fleet store update? New bridge officers. Infiltrators for all. Yeah, new bridge officers, like, give everyone access to the infiltrator trait. That's like a big thing, so anyone could start to actually play with the cloaking mechanic. New expensive buffs with unique combos. Like, if people want to spend a bunch of resources to get like a bridge officer with infiltrator and superior Romulan operative, you know, Delta's already got that. Delta's already got one, but if there was one available for all factions that was expensive at that one in the fleet holdings, I'd be fine with that too. We already have precedent for them giving us alternative versions of stuff from the Delta expansion pack. For instance, the Beta Healed Off has alternate versions out there now. Some are slightly weaker, but you get the point. Thomas mentioned ships in one of his previous interviews. Yeah. So, new fleet ships. Alternate versions of existing ships with new seating. Temp, Intel, Anorax, please. Yeah, honestly, yeah, dump the Kittimer Muds bundle. Just get rid of it. It sucks. Put that stuff in the fleet store. Make people pay for it. Yeah, new fleet weapons with higher proc rates. Like that's a big thing too, is a lot of the issues with the various weapon types is that the procs just never go off. Darth, we're just chatting about stuff. Yeah, like the anniversary ships, yeah. If I had the ability to get an alternate version of a ship, full carrier Proxima, I would spend a ton of resources to get it. Yeah, yeah. Good versions of timeless legacy ships, like the Okinawa, the Proxima, like those ships visually look fine. It's just the stats on them with the dual of the same specialization sort of sucked. Yeah, more active DOF slots. More slots in general for whatever. TOS Omni, more Omni variants like TOS. There you go. Like there's tons of different things that they could do here. I mean, the potential's open for anything. Coalition Disruptor Omni, Fleet Vandy Shields. That's a good one. Unlock, with the crafting system re-engineering, I always wondered, what if there was like special modifiers you could buy? Like you pay a certain amount to unlock the ability to put this modifier on gear. Like what if there was, you could buy the damage mod is already a thing for epic mods, but it's locked to like mines right now. What if there was a way to go in and just spend like a million fleet creds to unlock the ability to be able to re-engineer any of your weapons to damage. Add pen to non-crafted weapons. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that. That's an idea I've had too for a while, of like alternate versions of existing weapons like Polaron Hexas, Plasma Maelstroms, yeah. Alternate versions. Popular here. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do. Yeah. Rune, how's it going? Lance modifier. That's basically the overmod. Maid outfit. More adapted kits. Right now, it's like, what sort of stuff would we want to see from the fleet store? Um, we've seen the Endeavor weekends. Why isn't there like an Endeavor? This would be good to have in fleets too. Endeavor bonus pool. That'd be like a repeatable thing to keep us going back and get more fleet creds. Like, they don't want to sell us the Endeavor perk points, but they could give us like a bonus pool that gives us like the that Endeavor event experience like all the time. Like, imagine if you could just buy a bonus pool that basically let you get, like an Endeavor perk point each day. Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine whatever they're adding is going to be locked behind you doing those fleet projects. I'd like to see like the old fleet queues revisited, but I don't think that's part of the current scope of what they're looking to do. Yeah, I mean, some clicky consoles in the fleet store would be nice. Green, glad to have helped. What about some more ongoing boosts like the research lab? Yeah, logical, that'd be cool. Unlock EC cap with fleet creds. The EC cap isn't even a thing over on console. The EC cap they should just make free for everyone. It's an old thing that only exists on PC, and they should just get rid of it. 5-5 mirror warship. That's not going to happen, OS. Intriguing. Thank you for the membership, by the way. Sorry, I just saw that. It's a subscription legacy thing. Yeah, exactly. Steve-O, how's it going? Old event ships with full spec seating. Yeah. What would be the easiest for them to do? I mean, I can't imagine the bridge officers. I mean, it's probably a bit of work because they have to do both factions, but the bridge officers to me would be a good start. That's something people want. People want more bridge officers. I think the biggest thing really, I guess, here would be the alternate versions of existing ships. Like, imagine if there was an Okinawa with, a better layout. I mean, yes, you can already kit bash that with the what is it? Is it the NV? Is it the NV or the NP? What one of the N ships that we just got? A full spec compiler. We already have a clicky console that ejects your warp core. Look, they named two ships NV NP. Okay, Kifu, I don't know what you want me to. What have I done? But yeah, I mean, give me like a temp intel version of the Anorax. I mean, the Alachi Cheshire could use a better version. Um, I mean, this could be a way for them to give us just better versions of those older ships, and they don't even have to do new skins. They don't have to do new consoles, new traits. It's just the new, just the new stats. Elachi full command drooling, yeah. Some of those they might have a hard time justifying, given that they are like promo ships. But I mean, they're so old. I can't imagine those are generating that much sales wise anymore. I would imagine they'd get more giving us better versions of the ships now. Yeah. Updated uniforms like the TNG movies uniform, yeah. There are fleet devices, but the issue is with the fleet devices is that they're all locked to use on the fleet maps. That honestly needs to change. I feel like those old fleet devices, they need to be usable on any map. I feel like a lot of things need to be updated just a little, yeah. You like the idea of unlocking a unique modifier through the fleet? Yeah, that'd be cool. Exactly logical. I'm optimistic, but temper expectations. They don't have the ability to drastically overhaul everything. Yeah, exactly. You got to keep it realistic. And of what's here, like what is the most realistic? I think new bridge officers and alternate versions of existing ships. Like I think those are probably the most feasible. Like slots wise, they could always sell us more slots there, but they'd have to make it expensive. But imagine if there was like a +1 console slot that you could buy from your fleet. They could charge a lot for it, but people would pay it. Yeah. Yeah, chef, I agree. Especially given that there's no new console, no new trait. It's just an alternate version of a ship. That'd be cool. Like I think that'd be a bit more feasible. Make Marion Francis Stolmer. Oh no. Happy Mortal, how's it going? Maybe more Terran versions of ships, yeah? Yeah, I mean that's something people would like to see as well. I think that'd be good for them to do regardless of this. I feel like that's just a matter of time. Um like I feel like that sort of thing is going to happen at some point. I don't know when, but it just feels like it's bound to. Yeah. Hold on a second. Piping Yam, thank you for the follow. Yep, Darthon, you'd pay 10 mil fleet creds and 10 mil dill to unlock a modifier on a weapon that gives it a permanent firing mode like the aft weapon on that T5 patrol. Terrible. That would be very expensive. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate the support here as well. Not supposed to know about the Ethereum Malachi? Terrible. Okay. Theoretical modeling 2. Ongoing research. Got to get these projects going for this fleet. Another thing too for fleets is give us a bigger project for like a fleet mark dump. Like the 2001, it's not enough. Give us one that's like 20K and it just stays there. Yeah. Um Collisions, what could the STO devs do to improve the specialization firing modes like surgical strikes without removing them completely from the game or making them buffs for normal firing modes? It's hard. Um, the issue for something like surgical strikes, which is like the only one that's any good of those specialization firing modes, the issue for it is that as soon as you use that, you're giving up on access to other firing modes, so you can't really stack up things like cultural conquest. Um, like surgical strikes is a good budget ability, but those specialization firing modes and especially surgical, they do fall behind when you start to get to levels of having access to more things. Um, so what could they do to counter that? They could make some starship traits that are specifically for the specialization firing modes that would take up the slot that like cultural would on a normal build. Um, that that give an equivalent buff for those firing modes. So I'm just thinking, how would you do this? Like, let's say if there was surgical, when you activate like a torp spread, your specialization firing modes will receive X damage buff or something. Like a what is it? Preferential targeting was what they used to have for beam overload and rapid fire, and that would be you hit scattered volley or fire at will, and you'd get the buff for the rapid fire or beam overload. Yeah, I mean, I think that they should just be weapon enhancements, but people still really like surgical strikes. That's the issue. Is surgical strikes is actually popular. It's a good budget. It's a good budget firing mode because of the buffs it has. If you don't have if you don't have all the fancy stuff, like that's helping you get around not having the good stuff. Yeah, just giving more support for the specialization firing modes with traits, just adding it so to make sure that they proc things like the border skew trait there, thirst for battle. Imagine Merc Worker 200% weapon haste and then fire at will. Oh no. Yeah, I mean I would rather see that than what we have right now, but I've complained about specialization firing modes for a while. About a year ago, Cheops, Mara, and myself recorded a video talking about all this, and we had some thoughts about surgical strikes back then. Miracle Worker is in a better position than it was a year ago. It could still be better by improving the uptime on narrow sensor bands and mixed armament synergy. Disco, that would be cool, but at the same time, that would hurt the ship model that they have. No more weapon haste. The servers will die. The hamsters don't like it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the single target firing modes for reasons I've talked about before. I think that they're not really designed for how Stowe actually is, but a lot of people are big fans of them. Also, I believe I don't know if Nick is awake right now, but I think Nick wants to take over this fleet here, Starfleet Operations, to make it the Australian fleet. Yeah, I think that used to be a TBC fleet as well. I don't remember. The Australian fleet, yeah, it's about the immersion. Whenever I run like beam overload or surgical strikes or rapid fire, I'm just thinking of that moment from Star Trek Beyond when the Enterprise is going into that first engagement and they're like, we're not equipped for this sort of engagement, you know, with all the little ultimated swarm things coming their way. No, I think command there's not really a command ability that I can think of that fits as an uncon. They could always add more specialization abilities in. Um, but I think command's value just comes from the power of the few good abilities in it. And the issue is for command is that those good abilities are locked in the top two slots for the most part. So command does need some help, but so long as the lieutenant commander and commander command remain strong, that gives it some value. But definitely on the ensign and lieutenant slots, it needs a lot of help. Suppression barrage has a slow like eject warp plasma. That's uncon. Darthon, you should go and say that. Make suppression barrage an uncon. Phalanx maneuver. I don't even have a command bridge officer on this character. Hold on. Yeah, a lot of the command abilities were designed for a game that isn't Stowe, to be honest. That's sort of the issue with a lot of the command abilities is they are just not designed for the way the game is actually played. Command, here we are. Like ambush point marker. Needs of the Many's got such a long cooldown. Phalanx formation, yeah. Some of these just don't make sense. Yeah, Marked Chief, that'd be cool. I mean, a lot of the Lobby stuff would probably be in a better position too if it could be re-engineered. They are designed for 2010, yeah. They're not designed for how the game has been played. Collisions, that could help, yes. The issue really is with how most Stowe content is that area of effect, just being able to target more than one foe at a time is just so important for performance. Yeah. Yeah. The command, I would say, again, the only reason command is viewed positively is because of the lieutenant commander and command abilities like concentrate firepower 3, call emergency artillery, suppression barrage. Reroute power is a little bit better nowadays too, but you know, it really is concentrate firepower, artillery, and suppression that are the big things. Um, Rally point marker needs to be like whole regen and not just a static heal amount. Like whenever you get a heal that just says like the plus 242 healing there, you know it's going to be bad. Um, gotcha. But yeah, I mean, command, there's also the actual command ability, the command inspiration on a commander command ship. Like, that's actually a really good set of buffs. But aside from that, like, command is definitely not in the best position. It does clean the debuffs, but I think whole regen while you're in it would be better. Yeah. Ambush marker should move with the ship, yeah. Some of these buffs should be centered around your ship when you use them and just provide like various buffs to your team when they're around you. Like lean into command being, more of that support playstyle. Hold on a second. Okay, phalanx formation. Coordinate your allies' efforts by marking an attack pattern to follow. These holographic markers will grant an accuracy and defense boost to any ally that passes through them, representing an increase in strategic potential. It's not good. Yeah. I've given feedback in that regard. We've all given feedback, regarding command. Last year, Jeremy asked for like a breakdown on, what makes a, ship more desirable. So Mara, Cheops, and myself, we recorded a video. Mara did a nice breakdown over on the Stow Build subreddit. That they've got feedback on, ways to buff that up from that conversation. Darthon, not everything can be an uncon. I would love to have more uncons, don't get me wrong, but not everything can be an uncon. I mean, collisions, it could even be, just your specialization firing. Like, here's a concept. A starship trait, your specialization firing modes will randomly target have an extra shot go out to a secondary target. Yeah, Stanky, that's something I'd like to do. Just when timing is a little bit better. When my voice is at peak quality. Yeah, I mean, let me pull up that tier list too. Specialization. I mean, there's probably some stuff I'd move around here. Probably a few things to move around, depending on how I feel that day. But yeah, I mean, if a ship, the way I look at it is, if I'm looking at things from a meta perspective, if a new ship is announced and it doesn't have like a temp intel combo, command primary secondary intel, Merrick worker primary secondary intel, or like a pilot command combo, if it doesn't have one of those, like, I immediately know that the ship itself, like, if it doesn't have one of those combos, there's basically no way that it can be like a absolute top tier platform. Ships that are like the ships with different combinations can still do really well. Like the Brignout, that is like a B tier combo to me. The Noble also would be like a B tier combo to me. But there's other things that can bring up the value of a ship. But if it doesn't have one of these S tier combos, then it basically, like, the hope of it being one of the top platforms is basically immediately gone. Let's see if some water helps. I'll probably wrap things up here in the next couple of minutes too. So if you guys have any final questions you want to get in, go ahead and ask. Let me see who we have for raid targets on Twitch. Probably not going to raid out on Twitch. This tier list is very hard to read, yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. That's why doing a video on it would be better. Yeah. Is that any better? The two specs combined set the ceiling. One spec sets the floor. A bad secondary seat, but good primary can still drag a ship into decent. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, Chappy. The angle isn't even S tier if we're honest by this chart. Yeah, that's true. It's just it's the only one that's got the right combo. And the other thing is I don't have with this sheet, I don't have non commander specializations covered. Yeah, yeah, I can drop it in. This is subject to change, you know, this was just like something I put together a while back. There is one pilot in S tier. One pilot. Um, that's commander pilot and then secondary command. But yeah, it's basically if a ship doesn't have one of these combos, like, then the ship as a platform isn't going to be better than what we already have. Basically, is the way it is. It's not that the ship isn't going to be good. It's just that you need one of those combos in order to for it to beat what we already have. But our tort build's really S tier? No. But so let's go through this. The temp and intel, that is basically like the meta combo for, you know, for the uncon spam, for science. Like that is the go-to for the current high performance console spamming meta stuff. Primary command, secondary intel, that is like for your that's like your friendship, your sticks. Those are like your tanks, your carriers. Um, can do well for DPS as well. Um, Primary merc worker, secondary intel. That's like your legendary avenger, your inquiry. That is that's like your top performance for non-uncon setups. Like if you don't care about well, command and the the temporal's right down there, and you're correct. I probably should give a bit more room to command and temp. Like you are correct. The temporal's really valuable. Um, but OSS is pretty valuable. But no, you're not wrong. The command and temporal is also very good. Like the even for like the credence, Merc Worker and temporal, like that's really good. The Ilios, I think the Ilios will be the next Muds edition. They just recently did something to it in a patch, so yeah. Yeah, so Merc Worker Intel is like your top performance energy weapon option when you are not factoring in Uncon. The when we're doing like really high DPS runs where they're too fast for Uncon, that's why we're using things like the Legendary Avenger, because Merc Worker Intel at that point is very strong. Like that's why the top end records are why the top end records are still done with like the Legendary Inquiry, Legendary Avenger. Getting sick and tired of CasualSAB ripping content from hardcore MPAS on now. And then, of course, the pilot command combo for Torps. But yeah, I mean, look, there are some combos here in Amazing that are also legitimately good. Like the secondary temporal. You know, Phil's right there. Like, primary command, secondary temporal, that does well. Primary Merc Worker, secondary temporal, that does very well. It's really it's just the value that the focus that we often have with OSS Just really coming into play there. Torpedo builds can be good, but that you need a team around them to they don't work good in isolation. They are, yeah. They need the team to work with them. Yeah, the tier list is basically S for each category, not necessarily that each category is S tier itself. Yeah. If you have a tort build in there, they can make things very messy. I don't know, but that's stuff I can explain better in a video, which I'll do at some point in the future. Oh, did I just all of a sudden get ships? Yes, I did. All of a sudden, my ships just appeared. There we go. That was completely random. Let's get a few more projects going here. 30 minutes for this. Lucky vein, get me that dilithium. There we go. I was wondering where those ships went, and they were just right there, just waiting. Server caught up, yeah. What's my playtime at here? You can't claim most of the stuff on these recruit characters until you're at least 20 hours into them. So, you guys are probably going to see me AFK on this character quite a bit here in the next day. Because I'm still at just 11 hours. Yeah. I'm in Starfleet operations. If Nick takes over, I'll have to fly upside down. Yes, Dark Eddie. Get ready. No, Ginger, I don't know what did it. Nice. Yeah, Bridger, if that's the case, I'm gonna go check. Did they, because when I asked about that in the interview I did with the systems team for the 16th, and they said that there was a tech fix in progress to resolve that. So let's see. Yeah. Did the Ilios or did the Obina console finally get addressed? Antimatter interweave. Hello, Alan. How's it going? I gotta do my endeavors quick too.
Enemy ships warping in near projection station Alpha. We have multiple hull breaches in our...
Okay.
Containment breach! Evacuating all personnel!
Hull is buckling. The cod is dead in space.
How many stacks am I at? I don't see it. Four. 8. 9. An enemy shoot me? Okay, it went off. Don't. My Ilios console looks like they fixed it. That's pretty big news. So the antimatter interweave, it's no longer causing the Ilios to turn off.
simulation.
My toggles remained up,
We'll analyze
at least
the data
for
from this event and use
the
it to
Ilios
create a new
console.
tactical defense protocol.
That's amazing. Yeah, Bridger, good catch. Good catch. I wish that had been in the patch notes. Basically, the antimatter interweave console, when it would hit 10 stacks and it would reset, it would turn the toggles off for like the Ilios's custom power matrix. Yeah, some more flanking buffs would be cool. Yeah, that's good, because that means the Obina's a good recommendation again. This is also supposed to give a damage buff, but it's not listed right now. The tooltip, there's a tooltip issue with the console too, where at launch it gave a damage buff, and now it doesn't show the damage buff. Yeah, let's do another one of these real quick and just see if it, just pay more attention. They also fixed Achilles, you can't misclick and disable it too. Good, good. Why isn't this stuff in patch notes?
The recent conflict.
Enemy ships warping in near projection station Alpha. We have multiple hull breaches and art.
Okay, I'm about to get sub-nuked.
Evacuating all personnel.
Hull is buckling. The con is dead in space. Next one incoming. Projector station Beta. Attack.
Oh, my threatening stance is still there. At least till I get sub-nuked. I didn't mean to hit that. It's gonna get me killed.
Strike at you in the face. This will be a glorious battle.
Hate sub-nuke so much. Now my threatening stance has stayed on. And I'm pretty sure it's went off a couple times. Yeah, my threatening stance is still on. My Helios toggles are still on. Yes, that is... Everything is staying active.
Computer in simulation. Excellent work.
I gotta find the Obina review. Obina review. Where's the console? Where are the numbers at? It's supposed to give a damage buff. It doesn't list it on the console anymore. The console, when you receive damage, the console's supposed to give you a damage buff, but the tooltip doesn't mention anything about it anymore. Because, yeah, even the tooltip here doesn't mention anything about a damage buff. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was like actually like a decent amount. Mentioned in the notes section of the wiki, okay. Notes. Nothing specifically about the notes at the bottom, but if I go up here, yeah, it should have the info here. Okay, on the console itself. Yeah, so that's a meta right there. That elevates this back up to over the Guardian console. The Guardian console's like the budget option, and then if you want to get the other damage buff, you go for the Obina. Okay. I like it. That means, though, that I'm going to need to get an Obina on more characters. I didn't think of this ahead of time. What is the Obina at? No. I might be using the event campaign box to get me an Obina on another character. What did you just miss? The Obina console's working. Yeah, there's no Obinas on the market. It's already cleared. They stealth fixed the Obina console, the antimatter interweave. It no longer wipes Ilios or like threatening stance. Nick, it got fixed. Yeah. No, the Obina is an Infinity lockbox ship. It's customizable with the Guardian console did get dropped for you are dismissed. So we're in a weird position where like we have too many good consoles, and I time to flip the Obina then. DPRM goodbye. Hmm. I mean, it's certainly something you could try. You're losing that survivability, though. I don't have You Are Dismissed on right now, but that is just this character on an old loadout. The Obina is Infinity Lockbox Tier 6. Yeah. Downside of no patch notes, exactly. Yeah, it is scaling resistance, and it is quite a bit. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to get 2 Obinas, so I'm close to getting my event campaign done, so I can get one, because I'll need one for my engineer and for my sign, most likely. So I'll probably use the event campaign box to get the Obina on the engineer. Because I feel like my engineer's got a bit more potential than the science right now. I don't think so. Logical, when I talked to systems about this stuff, they said it wasn't like on their end. It was like the tech team or whatever was working on it. Like it was just a tech issue being looked into. I think Nick is saying it's, you know, the damage buff from it's probably not enough to warrant using over another console. Yeah. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna try this right now. Let's go up to space, get my cooldowns down, and get this build a run. Nick, are you gonna stream? No, but remember there's a damage buff on it. The Albina console has a damage buff they remove from the text isn't there on the tooltip anymore, but each stack of the Albina console is 10% Cat 2. So up to 100% Cat 2 when it gets up to 10 stacks. Of course, that's constantly cycling, but still. Yeah, let's give this a go. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be my event campaign pick if this goes well. Let's drop DPRM. That's a weird one. Feels weird. Whenever you drop DPRM, it just feels weird. Okay, you are dismissed. My +10s are active. My fleet combat buff just came down. I gotta fix that. Needed fleet marks. What? Yeah, it detonates on the 10th stack, yeah. But it's got no cooldown, so you have it right back up. I dropped a DPRM for you are dismissed right now, just to give this a try. I'm going to go back to Terran Goodbye here. And I feel like I'll give this a go, but I feel like I'm probably going to have to put on whole lot of X's just for a burst of survivability on the right side. But we'll see. We'll see. Rainbow Bleeding Edge. Save. Are any videos dropping this weekend? I mean, hopefully. My goal was to have Crate Part 2 out tomorrow, but it might slip to Sunday. Because doing this stream sort of used up my voice a bit more than I thought today. Like I could just feel like I'm starting to get to that point of probably not too much more talking today. But which is fine. Like this was good to get the news covered, all that, so yeah, well, sorry, you've got 21. And you could pop one easily to get yourself for the Albina if you don't already have it. You've got enough ship boxes there to cover you through 28. Yeah, there was honey in this. That's why there's like this silicone thing in here just to stir it all up. I'll probably have to get some more. Yeah, I don't want to record a video, like a big video, when my voice is like this. I can get all the background work done. Opportunity to use my trained up AI voiceover. I don't want to do that either on a big video right away. My voice is definitely better than yesterday, but it's still not perfect.
The situation is grim. All attempts to hail the starbase have failed. We must assume the enemy has taken control.
I don't have the right call-in device. That's fine.
We must destroy the foreign fleet defending the starbase.
I should have the new one on, not the old one. It's fine. Pop a HP boost. $24. There we go.
You will become one with the Borg.
the nanite trench. Got it. Building that quick.
Bad start.
The nanite drones will repair the trench. Stop them.
Dead run. But let's keep going to see how it goes.
The probe is closing in on the trench. Destroy it.
That's way too long of a runtime, but I mean, it just showed I could survive without DPRM there, so that's good. So it's still enough survivability without needing to add in like any other traits or any other items. So yeah, the resistance from that is enough, and that scales up quite a bit as your hull capacity drops. So that's good. So, I mean, in concept, that can replace DPRM on these sorts of builds, but that'll need more testing to see how that applies to other maps. Nick could dub it for you? Oh, no. So, being a Protostar and Friendship only ships I want out of it. Random question, sorry, is trying to sell epic weapons worth doing? You can try, but it's a very slow market. I've bought weapons that are epicked out before, but very, very rarely. You know, there are certainly times where it can make sense to do that, you know, compared to just upgrading yourself, but it's a hard market. Yeah, so let me, like, and there are some weapons where there's just not many ways to get them, so the price can be quite high, like, let me go back here. What was it? Diffusive, yes. There are some weapons that are extremely rare on the market. Extremely rare on the market. That's dual cannons. Diffusive Tetrion dual cannons are 175 mil. Yeah, I mean, if you find the right weapons, you might be able to do it, but just be aware it can take a very long time. You got to ship out of the keys? Nice. The diffusive isn't Infinity. It just doesn't get much demand. Okay, Epic, Mark, 15. And some of these just don't have much value. But I mean, there are some weapons people have up on here, like... That's to me. I wouldn't go in and upgrade a weapon just to sell it for 15 mil. That just seems like it wouldn't be worth the time to me. But if you find something that goes for a bit more, then go for it. Sure. Like you mentioned, Baul, so let me just look up epic Baul weapons. I mean, you can try. Like that's really all you can do is try. Low margins, yeah. Wide arcs dominate the low end ultra rare cannon market. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't even think wide arcs are worth using, to be honest. Just try, and then someone swooped in and post one EC lower. Yeah. So Nick, are you going to stream? I don't. I just don't personally bother with them. I mean, if you like them, you know, go for it. Where did the melee weapons that have 6 modifiers come from? I honestly don't remember. Yeah, what are omnis at? Um, so when it comes to weapon modifiers, basically any mix of crit D and damage is going to be fine for you. Like I personally, I go for crit D damage on the epic mod, and then damage for everything else. But basically, if you are stacking up a ton of damage buffs, um, if you're stacking up a ton of damage buffs and you're an endgame player, then damage can come out ahead. But if you're still just getting into things, you don't have all your endeavors done, I would say crit D is just a really safe bet. Like, even at the top end, the difference is like a fraction of a percent. So if you just want to play it safe, just go crit D damage for the epic mod and then crit D for everything else. Yeah, the Omni markets can be a bit crazy. Nick is going to stream in about 10 to 15 minutes, so we'll wait for him to get on and then I'll raid over to him. Yeah. Now, I'm going to... Let's see here. I'm going to check some markets again quick. Breen Shield Tunneling. You can do that. That's perfectly fine. It really, at the end of the day, isn't going to make that much of a difference whether you have crit or damage. It's just that the more you stack up your buffs, the ever so slightly more you're going to get out of the damage. But, I mean, if you are just rerolling your weapons and you get a crit D damage, like crit D2, damage 2, like if you don't want to spend more resources on it, then that's perfectly fine. Dual cannons are currently the preferred at the very high end for getting extra procs out of the Credence console, and also Valdor. But they're not, like, your dual heavy cannons are still perfectly fine. Yeah. Breen Shield Tunneling is still 150 mil. Again, guys, if you have Breen Shield Tunnelings on you, sell them. Because with the Partners in Crime stuff being put into Infinity, like, that will bring the price of this trait down quite substantially. If you have one on you, get your EC from it now, rather than, you know, seeing it all lose its value. Or it's not going to entirely lose its value, but it's probably going to go to 50, 60 mil when that happens next month. Plasma damage, let's get that done quick. So, patrol. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Breen Shield Tunneling will go under 100 mil. It'll probably normalize around the price of other Infinity space traits. So, you also have to keep in mind, it's going to be at the very top of the list, you know, when that stuff's added to the Infinity lockbox. So, like, it's going to have a ton of supply. Like, if you're sitting on Breen Shield Tunneling right now and you want to get a bit of EC out of it comparable to what its current value is, then, like, your time to act is now. If you haven't sold your Breen Shield tunnelings within the next couple of weeks, you're going to find that the value of them has dropped quite a bit. Samuel, I mean, it's worth trying. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of supply, and I guess for a while wasn't as many people making new characters, but hey, you know, with the recruitment event, people are making new characters, so... Oh, you're fine. I don't think they're going to change that because they want people doing random queues. Yeah, definitely Sora, that's the way to go. We need Wayoon passing around Catch Yourself White on ESD.
Spin the wheel and win.
32 of 47 is now... That doesn't seem right. I assume you mean like 990 mil? Yeah. Yeah, so you guys are going to see me AFK on this Gemidar quite a bit here in the next couple days, just because I need to get the 20 hours, so I'll probably just leave that on most of the night. While I'm here at the computer, of course. I'll just do some like market stuff on it and doffing. Yeah, the legendary captain stuff should be reclaimable. The fact that I can't get Wayoon on my new Gemidar is a bit annoying. I don't need the XP. I could by the end of this weekend have that character's like specializations done. Um, that's not the issue. It's more of I need the play time so I can get the other recruitment rewards. I was going to move upgrades over. So I have 184 Phoenix upgrades left. I'm going to have to open more Phoenix packs. Well, I guess we're getting a little bit of gambling in before the stream wraps up. Gotta support the dilithium economy. Look at that. The Dilex is actually going down a little bit. I'm going to do 800 Zen. That gets me 400,000 dilithium. That is enough for 100 Phoenix packs. And let's see if I get lucky. There's an ultra rare. Nick, hey, how's it going? You're
Good
live.
morning, Supreme Cryptic Shill.
Okay. I heard your stream is live.
It is live. And I'm ready for Deepcast episode number 1. We're ready.
We're both sick. I don't think people want to hear us for that long.
Or the playground. It's crisp stuff.
Nick voice is crisp. Do you guys hear him loud enough? Do I have the audio up that well?
Samuel, good morning. Everyone, hello, hello.
How would I get the specializations done in a weekend? Part of it is because I've got so many of these Endeavor boxes and like the feature TFO boxes. Like this right here, these 48 feature TFO reward boxes are 48 spec points. So if I open those up, like that's 48 specialization points right there. I can do research assignments on the character as well. Why is Nick's stream upside down? Did you talk to Stu about the Australian fleet?
No. I didn't end up connecting with them yesterday. I ended up sleeping on the couch. And then when I got on, like, in the time period he was on, I was playing WoW, and I don't think either of us remembered.
Have you heard of sending a message?
I have, but I forgot.
Terrible. Have you seen the price of KDF 32s?
No, but I'm guessing you have the entire market.
No. There's one at just under $1.
Jesus. Do I need to open it on KDF?
I am looking through the inventory. KDF 32 of 47. Yeah, the Growl's on PlayStation and Xbox next week, along with a key sale.
I should actually turn my stream, unhide my stream.
Oh, you're still muted?
Yeah. Now I'm not. Now everyone can see him. The one person is my loyal Steve-O's over my Twitch. I saw her. Yeah, I'm a bit nasally today.
I have fixed the KDF market for 32. I have resolved the current pricing issue. Oh, whoever it is on. Whoever it is on, and just raised that they took theirs from right under $1 billion to 1.5. Okay, we're going to raid out to the Nicholas here on the Twitch and YouTube. You are live on YouTube, correct?
I should be.
Okay. Customization, redirect. The entire thing for YouTube is weird for those that haven't seen it. Oh. As I tried to make the window bigger. There we go. Edit, customization, redirect.
Yeah. I still think Twitch streaming is superior.
Terrible.
But YouTube numbers are better. Ground build when? Tonight.
Okay, we are raiding out to the Nicholas. Thank you everyone for tuning into the stream today. I will be streaming again tomorrow. And when my voice is a little bit better, the crate build guide part 2 will be recorded. Thank you all for tuning into the random stream. Now go say hi to Nicholas.
Well, Spencer's gonna stay as a loyal friend and help me out, right? Right?
What?
Supreme.
Yeah, I'll stick around a little bit, but I probably would like to step away from the computer for a moment.
Get some orange chicken. Thank you for the raid, Supreme Fleet Leader.
Yeah. Here comes the YouTube side. Hopefully people stick around to say hi to the upside down Australian.